Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we have a lesson about modal improvisation, and it's actually a little bit more than that, but I will demonstrate a concept maybe a little less theoretical as we did in past lessons, but more in a practical way. So I give you really like examples, musical examples here. What we did a lot on this in this Guitar Academia channel, we thought a lot about like different structures, different combinations of notes. So we talked about all the different kinds of 3-note structures, and I came up with there are just 19 possible different 3-note structures. So we just have if we have like any combinations of 3 different notes, we can reduce that to 19 different 3-note structures. Yeah, we talked about that. We had a whole course and playing as arpeggios and as voicings and everything. We talked about that a lot. And then we also did the same thing for 4-note structures. We had like I found out that there are like 43 different possible 4-note structures if we combine any 4 different kinds of notes. Any 4 different notes, we come up with basically 43 different structures. Of course, you can still transpose them and play them in many ways, but we already did a lot of that in the course on 4-note structures. So we talked about the different positions, the different ways how to play them as an arpeggio, how to improvise with them, how to practice them in the melodic way, and also like the 24 different chords, like drop 2, drop 3, and so on, voicings. So we went really into that, and the idea is really that you get a kind of a complete palette. Like if a painter has all these different colors, this is like his color. These are all his or her colors. So I do not really know the English word, but it's like the whole of possibilities, you can say, and you can see that as all the possible colors. They are there. So we can say like we have 4-note structures. Okay, we have 43 different colors. We have 3-note structures. Okay, we have 19 different colors. Yeah, and so on. That's the idea. And if you have 2-note structures, for example, we just have 5, right? A minor second, a major second, a minor third, a major third, a fourth, and an augmented fourth, right? 6. You have 6 2-note structures, and everything else is like just an inversion or like a transposition. Okay, so you got this concept. Anyway, so we talked a lot about that. We found we had systems, and we have like we group them in families and everything. We did a lot of stuff, and the idea is really just to understand all the possibilities, all the possible colors, and kind of have a system or like a kind of find like groupings into families, so that we actually have a nice like shelf where we find our structures, and we know which belong together and whatever. Yeah. Now we can come really from the other side now, and that's what we're doing today here in this lesson. We take one scale. We take like D Dorian, yeah, just D Dorian scale. And we take a look at that scale. We have 7 notes, and 7 notes imply we have 7 notes, and 7 notes imply that we actually can have 35 different 4-note structures, 35 different 3-note structures, 21 different 2-note structures, and 21 different pentatonics. We also can have like 7 different 1-note structures, so just 1 note, or like hexatonic 6-note structures. There will be also like 7. Okay, so that's actually like all these possibilities we have. And the idea why we actually think like that, or we think about it like that, is to actually gain maximum possibilities how we can think, or like different perspectives on that scale. Yeah, so we have D Dorian, and now we wanna improvise with that, or we wanna compose something, or we wanna make chords out of that, or whatever. So our root is D, and we have chosen the D Dorian scale, so we have 7 notes, and the idea is to really have like a kind of a systematic approach, that we can think of all the different structures or groupings of different notes we can have, and then we really check them, and we will see which really work for D Dorian, and and can make like can explore, you know, and then we find out, oh, this one is actually a really cool structure, it sounds really good here, and then we already have we got something out of that. So it's really like a systematic approach. You go through all possibilities, and you end up with some cool stuff. So that's it. Basically that's the approach, the system. Okay, now I want to actually show how I use that in a practical when I'm actually playing, when I make music, when I'm improvising, how these structures come into play. Because once you understand that, I think you understand better, maybe if you're not already, how cool this approach actually is. Okay, so as I said, we take a D Dorian scale. We are in. So our root is D. And what we want to make sure also that these structures which we use to play, to improvise, really represent that that tonality. So there are most of the structures, most of the 4-part possibilities, 4-note possibilities, or 3-note possibilities, whatever. They are not really suited for our purpose here to have a real clear, good, nice, beautiful sound we can use, and this sound actually will give us this tonality immediately. Yeah, so that's something we have to look for, that we actually find these kind of structures. And of course, the most simple structure is just the minor triad, right? This gives us like. And I can just play with that. Yeah, that's the idea now, to reduce the tonal material to some notes, to one of these structures, and then play with that. Yeah, and later on combining different ones, and then it becomes more and more interesting and musical, and then you really get this idea, I think. And by the way, there's also a PDF just down in the description below. There's a link where you can download a PDF. There's like a sheet for D Dorian where you have all kinds of different names of structures which you can use. And but we will also talk about that. But of course, it would be great when you if you would download that for yourself as a reference, and then you can also maybe take notes there, which ones you like, or whatever, and also it supports this channel, so it would be a cool thing to do. Thanks. Okay, so let's check this one 3-note structure, D minor. I just put in one note. What was that? It was a C. Okay, I can also do that. I can also have a structure which is going the D minor triad with a C. That's just a D minor 7th arpeggio, right? So I can do that instead of the D minor triad. Okay, so I can do that. I can take a D minor structure, D minor 7th structure, which is a 4-part structure. I can take another interesting 3-note structure, which is just 5th, root, and 2nd. Yeah, I can call that, in that context, I can say it's a D sus2. It has a 2 instead of the 3rd. So no F, no minor 3rd, but instead a kind of a suspension, which we will not resolve immediately, by playing the 2 instead of the 3. So that's a bit has a certain kind of ambiguity, so it's not really straightforward and clear. If we play it any way we want, just in every kind of note permutation, it might we might come up with a sound where the D is not sounding as a root. So we have to make sure in a way always that we show the D. Yeah, with all these structures where we really want to have this tonic function, this D minor tonic function, there we really should always make sure that we hear that root. So some structures are really straightforward, like D minor triad. It's really like you can do anything with these 3 notes. It will always be your D minor tonality. You hear D as a root. I mean, maybe not everything, but yeah, it's very hard to make this chord not sound as D minor. And there are other sounds other structures which work really nice for, in this case, D minor for tonic, have tonic function. Yeah, tonic is our D minor. It has nothing to do that we are in a D minor piece. It's just D minor Dorian here. So D is our root and D is our tonic. In this modal context also we say like tonic function. And there, as I said, there are these structures which are not completely clear. So we have to make them sounding clear if we really want to use them as with tonic function. So. Okay, that's one more three-note structure. So we have two in a way, and we can also, of course, we can already start to mix them up. So we have like a D minor structure, we have a D sus2 structure, another triad, another three-note structure, and we have a D minor 7 structure. So let's go for that. Okay, and normally, if I now would go for that idea, I would maybe also mix this a little bit with just like scale movements, just scale-wise movements, and connecting also some notes better, and have a bit more melodic sound, but always yeah, showing these different structures. I show you what I mean. Okay, so that goes more in the direction what I want to go. But actually, there are some more really nice four-note structures which I use a lot, and that's not so much actually this D minor 7. Like a 7th chord arpeggio. It's more like a minor triad with either the 4th or the 2nd degree added. So for example, D minor with an added 2nd degree would be D minor with E added. I just played was only using these 4 notes, only D minor triad with an E, so a four note structure. A D minor triad, DFA, with an added 4th, with an added G. Okay, that was also no exception, only these 4 notes, only D minor with an added G, nothing else. Then I have another one, another 4-note structure. It's an A minor triad with an added D. And of course, we have to be really careful in a way to not make this sound as A minor, yeah? Because A minor with a D is actually the same structure as D minor with a G, but we used it for D minor. So we have to be careful that A minor with a D is not sounding as A minor. And the way we do that is that we always, in a way, approach to D, to the note D, which is in the structure. So it's not a different note. We don't have to change the structure, but we have to make sure that all the notes of A minor actually lead to D. Yeah, and that's actually very nice in this structure because A leads, of course, to D, like harmonic series, framework 1, we talked about that. Then you have the upper and lower scale step neighbor, huh? Like, and so. So I only use these 4 notes. One wrong note, a G. Let's go back to A minor. But when I play a wrong note, actually, I mean wrong, it's not wrong in this sense, but it's not a note which was in A minor with an added D. And the interesting thing is that you hear that. Yeah, you hear, oh, this is something else. And that's actually the cool thing. That's the whole idea of this approach here is we pick one structure and that gives us a certain image, a certain picture, a certain atmosphere, a certain quality. And that's the idea to say, okay, we take that quality out of all these possibilities of D minor Dorian, and we take that quality and we show that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? And then later we show another one. And we say, okay, we can also do that. And in a way, it's a little bit like what I like to see. That actually, it's like we're looking at all the different angles to this D minor Dorian scale. Yeah, we look more from here, from A, or it's hard to, you can't really correlate that with the actual notes, but it's in a way it's like we take this scale, this D Dorian sound, and we look at that from all kinds of different perspectives. And every structure, 2 note, 3 note, 4 note, 5, 6, 7 note, is like one picture, you can say. And of course, like the 7 notes would be the whole scale, so it would be, of course, also a picture. But the interesting thing here is really to be very economic in a way, to just show some notes to give you this kind of quality, and then change it. So you have movement. You show like a variety of colors and in a way, it's not getting boring, you know, to just use the scale all the time, because you have changes, yeah? Changes in these structures, not changes in the root, of course. Okay, so we have, up until now, we have like 4 different 4-note structures. D minor with E, D minor with G, D minor 7, A minor with D. And we have 2 triads, 2 3-note structures, D minor triad and the D sus2, the DEA triad. The original form of this triad is actually like an E with stacked up perfect fourths. So E, A, D. Yeah? If you stack up fourths, you reach that triad. That's in our terminology, in our systematic nomenclature, I think it's called. Where we found the different like original names, where is the structure coming from. We had certain like more scientific names for that, just to not depend too much on context, where in which all these because one structure like that one could be also like an A sus4 chord, huh? A sus4, or it could be like an E7 sus4 structure. No, not an E, yeah, E sus7 sus4. Yeah, without the fifth. So there are different names, and of course, like also taking a complete different root, not these three notes, just a complete different root would also be possible to get like complete different structures, maybe like an F major 7 13 or whatever. Yeah. So, but anyway, we call that now like DEA, like D sus2 or D with the E instead of the F or whatever. Okay, so we have like 6 different structures, and I play a little bit with that. So you get this sound. You will understand it a little bit better, and listen really for these changes. Yeah, where change is happening, and that's the beauty of that. Yeah, the beauty is to just select a few notes which really work nice, and to have that sound which should be nice, and then also to change it to another sound, but not losing the tonality or the tonic in this case. All right. Okay, so that's the sound, or that's the idea, or that's the way the concept can be used to make music. Another step, which I'm not doing so often actually, but in this case it's really like very useful. Of course, you always should watch out for like different possibilities of pentatonic scales. Yeah, in this case you have like 2 very very interesting and very strong pentatonic choices. You can say it's like a D minor pentatonic. There's a normal minor pentatonic. This sixth, minor sixth kind of pentatonic, which goes like so that's also a nice color. I'm not using that too much actually. Maybe it's because like 5 notes are already quite a lot, and in a way that this it goes more. It gets more scale, and I would rather actually now of the pentatonic would just pick 4 notes or just 3 notes. What you also can do. Like when we talk about the different structures, we also talk about 2-note structures, because with some things arpeggios of two-note structures. We had a complete lesson with these kind of wide interval patterns. And what we can do, for example, is to play the D minor structure, to think, okay, a triad. We have a triad, D minor triad. That's really the triad, the basic form, the basic triad, the basic tonality, the basic chord. What can we do? We have in that triad, we have three different diads. So we have D and F, we have F and A, and we have D and A. So for some techniques, some ways, and we really talked about that in another lesson. We can for example, yeah, that's an arpeggio just using F and D. A and F, or D and F, or D and A. Yeah, so that's also possible to play with that. Kind of. I mean, that was a little bit not too musical. Just wanted to demonstrate that. Now, these are like structures which we really can use very effective and very nicely when we play in D minor. Maybe let me give you. Please give me another chance. I will again try to just demonstrate what we have so far. Okay, so the different structures, 2-note, 3-note, 4-note, maybe 5-note, and to give you this kind of a picture. Then we go on, because, yeah, so that you understand where we are at now. And by the way, I just, because that's actually quite important for you also to know, this general concept is, of course, we think these different structures, but in musical, in real life, when we improvise and we practice these structures and we learn about their sounds, actually we do not have to think about them in the first place. We can just improvise, and then after a while, suddenly we improvise something, and we recognize, oh, we just played that structure, or that structure was sounding nice. Ah, okay, that's that. These combinations of notes. What is that structure? And then we can just open that door. Yeah, we opened that already, but we can really go into that room and elaborate a little bit more on that structure, yeah, and then coming back and just leave our structures as they are until maybe another structure shows up. Yeah, so we we not try to find these structures, but these structures will find us if we practice that stuff. Okay, so let me maybe show that a bit, because it's maybe more the thing how it should be. Because now I'm really trying to always only play these structures, and I just recognize, I just find out that it's actually not really exactly what it should feel like. So I do what I just said. Okay. Okay, and what just happened, this was like I heard like an F. There was like suddenly was an F, in this case an F major with a G. And these are also these are possibilities you have. You have, when you know these structures, then of course you also can show like different chords, you can have like kind of chord progressions. It's a little bit like this Turkish makam thing. You think in D Dorian, but you show other structures also. You show like there are progressions, yeah, but always coming back to the D minor structures. So always confirm you are in D minor Dorian. Yes, you are in D minor Dorian, and then you show something else, and then you go back. Yes, I am in D minor Dorian. Yeah, so it's just showing different colors, and then this color, this palette of colors you have really makes a lot of sense. It really gets meaning there, because you choose like different colors, and you make a contrast kind of color, and then you go back to the tonic, and to confirm that it was just a little beautiful ornament or different color you have shown, and then you go back to the original color, so to speak. But there's also one category of other colors which are not showing the D minor tonality, which actually work a little bit against it, although you use the same notes as D minor Dorian. And these other structures, 4-note or 3-note structures, you really select very wisely. They really like, and I call them cadence. Like they have cadence functions. So they create tension, and in this context here, in this case in D Dorian, they want to resolve. So by alternating between these cadence structures and the structures which really represent the tonic, the D minor, you have movement, and you always go back between tension, resolution, tension, resolution. And that's really great, because yeah, and this concept is really cool, because you have so many possibilities, so many different colors. Yes, 35 different 4-note structures, 35 different 3-note structures. It's a lot, actually. And you can really group them together. These are cadence structures. These are like all like very different colors. These have tonic functions, and these the most of these structures do not really make too much sense. They don't give you too much beauty, or like they do not really make too much sense. Of course, you can use any structure, and you can learn how to use any structure, any of these 35 different structures of either 3 or 4 different notes out of that G Dorian scale. You can make every structure to work, but that's actually not really the purpose here. The purpose is to maybe to check out these different structures, to hear what they sound like. And we did this already in when we talked about, for example, 4-note structures. We did this really, there was one lesson just about that. And but the idea here is to use it in our improvisation. So we move on, we move between the structures. So we need structures who can give us a kind of a picture very quick. So either cadence, either different color, or either tonic function. Okay, when you look at the PDF, you see there are like 4 different cadence function structures. So one is just a C major triad, a 3-note structure, just a C major triad. So I can do that. I can play one of the tonic function structures and then go to that C major triad and then come back to another tonic structure. Yeah, so that was all just a C major triad. Yeah, in this context, it sounds actually really nice, and normally just a C major triad would sound really like a bit boring maybe, but in this context, it really gives tension. Yeah, and we get kind of movement by using that. Yeah, there's motion is created. So again, D minor with a fourth added. Okay, so that's a nice sound. Then we also can have a C sus4 structure, or like F G C, which is a possibility. So this. Let's try that. Yeah, so we can get really active and like creative with these structures, and this was really just D minor with G and this other structure F G C, which we have like different names for, of course. Very nice structures are when we also take again the C major triad, but we add also the second to it, so either the D or the fourth, the F to the C major triad. So either we have like a with a fourth or with a second. Yeah, and you always hear that this kind of quality. Oh, we are somewhere else. We create tension in a way, and then it resolves. Yeah, you hear that kind of a motion, what's happening, and we just use this Dorian scale. Yeah, but we use it very deliberately in a way. Like we really, we just take out some notes and we create that image, and then we take these notes and create that image, and we are really conscious about tonic sound, cadence sound, and other color sound. Yeah, so let me just maybe play a little bit on this D Dorian, and I show you like just different colors that you hear. Oh, that's a nice color. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. That you get a little bit more this quality of that approach. Okay, so I was quite conscious about the different structures and the different, and actually, I mean, you just in a way you can say you in a scale you can show like 7 different kinds of tonalities, 7 different kinds of roots you have there, so 7 different notes which can function as a kind of temporary root. And the cool thing is when you really check out the different which really work nicely and which have what kind of functions, and you make a selection of that, then it's really you can play a long time just using this scale and showing all these different colors, and especially these 4-note structures which are not like just like 7th structures, like stacking up thirds, just like triads with an added 2 or an added 4th degree. They are really effective. They are really great sounding, and I think in this context you should really work on them. Yeah, to get this D minor with a G. Or C major with an F. Yeah, or D with an E. There's so many more actually, but I hope you got this. You got this concept, because this when you like that, when you enjoy this kind of different colors, and in the context of like one scale, one kind of a tonality, more this modal kind of context, then you have so many possibilities, and so it's actually so much fun to check out these different colors, and like, oh, I can this is a possible 4-note structure, and you can do this in a very systematic way. Really write out all the different 4-note structures in D Dorian, and then really play in this D Dorian. Check out the drones. I put the link down in the description below to have like a kind of a drone, like a low sounding root all the time. So you really make sure you have this support of the root, the context of this tonality. And then you check out all these different scales, yeah. And we did this already in another lesson, so I will put the link also down in the description of that lesson. I think we did for G Dorian or G Aeolian. I do not really remember right now, but then you can really go in a very systematic way, and you check out all these different like arpeggios, and then you make a kind of collection of those you really like and you enjoy playing, and then you just alternate between them, and then you just it's a lot of fun, and it gives you all these different colors, and it's actually quite interesting how like, you know, if you just say, okay, take the D Dorian scale and improvise on that. Most people will just play a little bit and then get in a way maybe bored, because what else can I do besides playing these 7 notes in different orders? But when you know this kind of approach of just taking different structures, and when you see 35 different 3-note structures, 35 different 4-note structures, 21 2-note structures, 21 5-note structures, 7 6-note structures, 7 1-note structures, you end up with so many possibilities, and this really gives you like all kinds of different colors. You really look at very many angles and perspectives on that scale, and so it's like you have a really you have a certain pool, but you select notes, and you create an enormous variety of different sounds, and that's really interesting, very colorful, and of course you have to use that musical, that you really know, okay, that's my tonic function, this is my cadence function, and these are just giving me other roots, other sounds, which I maybe can put in like a spice. I have to be a little bit careful with, because I don't want to ruin the whole tonality. All right, so that's it for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I could give you something where you really will have fun to explore. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also click the bell button to get notifications when a new video will be released. This is the case every week. And also you can support me. You can support my work here on this channel. Just go down the link below. There in the description field, there you have a link to my website, hoophildenbrand.com. On the Guitar Academia page, there's a button where you can donate. So to get more involved here in the whole process, and to make this whole thing really work, and would be really cool. Yeah, I would really appreciate that, of course. All right, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. My name is Hoophildenbrand.